My child. That's all of this on the right side. Can I enter your house, my child? I am standing in front of your house. I want to bring blessings, peace, love, and prosperity to your family. If you can. Heal your everything that makes you sad. But I need you to accept now. My soda. That's my disease.
This was for my banks.
All right. Good evening, guys.
Back away from it.
How are you doing?
Say that.
Um, can you hear me, please? Can you please, guys?
We gotta go. Come on.
Mute. All right, guys. Good evening once again. It's nice having this wonderful webinar with you all. I remain Max Trader of Peculiar FX, and I'm sure this is not the first time you guys are getting to hear from me. All right, guys. So today, without wasting much of our time, I have like less than 45 minutes to spend with us because I have to jump into another meeting. But this particular topic we are going to talk about today is something that I feel most people are neglecting in their trading life. And trust me when I say it is part of the first thing. For those that actually like join the mentorship class and the class of 5, if you notice before even any class took place, our Seumpo herself made sure she spent at least, that I know of, a week talking about this risk management and everything, fear, emotions and everything, because they all work together. You understand? But it has come to my notice, seeing people screenshots of loss, some of even profits, let's say probably because of luck. You might not be lucky next time enough. So I feel like we should bring this to the table to address to everyone. All right. Like I said, we'll be talking about risk management. So as you can see on the screen, why risk management matters. It says trading without risk management is like driving blindfolded. It's like what? Driving blindfolded. Let me see if I can draw. Trying to admit speaker. Now it says trading without risk management is like driving blindfolded. And what happens when we are driving blindfolded? There's no how good you can be. The car will eventually crash. No matter how good you can be. No matter how good you can be. The car is gonna crash. So the second one said risk management control losses so you can stay in the game. Now, I believe you guys are with your pen and jotter. Risk management control losses so you can stay in the game. And that should be your first priority to protect your capital. To protect your capital. Because, all right. And the third one is not about avoiding loss. It's about controlling it. I always tell you guys, there's no even business on earth, let me to begin with, that you do that is always profitable. There are some areas that one way or the other you encounter some loss. But the main important thing is you maximize your profits. I mean, the profit you are making is more bigger than the loss you are making. That is, your profit is greater than what? Your loss. Forex is a business as well. And only risk management can make you secure that, whereby your profit will be greater than your loss. You see some people, they can hold $50 loss, but they can't hold $5 profit. Once they see $5 profit, they want to close. But they see $5 loss, they want to leave it and say, oh, when it turns to $1 profit or 50 cents, or when it is blue, that's when I will close. And they watch the trade. The trade will get to -5, -10, -20, -30, -40. They will still be looking. Assuming they have that same urge, you understand, for the profits, it would have been better. It would have been better. So that's why risk management is very, very important. It keeps you in the game. If you make loss for a particular signal, trust me, another signal is coming that will make you to recover your loss. Now imagine if you blow your account on one signal due to your lack of risk management. That's gone. You just have to look for another money to deposit. But with proper risk management, your capital is being protected. You will be able to stay in the game to trade the next signal. Even though the next signal is still bad, you will still be able to trade. All right, so that's that about that. Let's go to the second slide. So now, the first thing we'll be doing is how to, let me see, you can, how to, why, okay, this is why I'm coming. How to set stop loss. How to what? Set stop loss. Stop loss is actually one of the things if you actually want to do risk management, stop loss is the first thing you want to do. Stop loss make you stays in the game. You understand? It costs your loss instead of you liquidating your own, instead of you losing your own account by making loss. It helps you to set it, okay, around this particular price, just accept the loss for me and close and make sure my capital is safe. Now, for every signal we drop, we always drop it with a stop loss, because we believe when the price of the market is the stop loss, it means there are higher chances that it doesn't want to buy or it doesn't want to sell again. Do you understand me? Now, imagine if I can put that stop loss because of that, and you decide not to use that stop loss. That means there's no how you do it, your account will blow. Trading is all about emotions, I understand. At that moment, you want to feel like, okay, no, I'm not closing. I want to make my money. That's how they want you to feel. Then if you are feeling like that, are we not winning to them? No. We want to make money. So risk management is very, very important. Like see, let me say 30% skills of knowing how to trade and everything. But you see, when it comes to risk management, it goes a long way as well. Whereas the pity other people just talk a bit about it. But yeah, we know what is important and what is not important. Trust me when I say in Peculiar Effects, we are telling you risk management is very, 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 very important. Because number one goal is to what? To protect your capital. Now, place stop loss where your trade idea is proving wrong. Just like how I said, we always put our stop loss where we feel like, oh, if the price of the market should get to this price, it means it is no more, our setup of buy or sell is no more valid. Now, avoid random peep distance. Okay, talking about this actually. Um, in the market, you understand, there's what we call stop ons. You understand? That the market itself, if your stop loss is closer to where your entry is, they want to hit your stop loss. That way you lose money, other person make money. And trust me, we're in this platform to make money. That's why sometimes you see the stop loss is kind of a bit far from your entry. You understand? It's because we're avoiding stop ons. You understand? So you personally, if you are going to be trading by yourself, taking signals by yourself, whether you saw it on anywhere, you understand? Avoid random peep distance. I believe in peculiar effects. When we give signal, we share tips that actually enable you to feel like, okay, one way or the other, you can have little ideas. So if you're using those little ideas to trade, avoid random peep distance. The stop loss, if you feel like taking them close is the best way to keep an account. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. They will hunt the stop loss. But just make sure that where you're putting your stop loss, you have enough capital. Don't worry, we'll still practicalize it. You understand? I'll still practicalize after this one. Now, use structure-based placement on charts. I'll talk about that one now. So now let me share my screen of my phone. I have so now on this phone now, let me talk about another thing before I talk about that. I want to be talking about trade stop. You understand? And I believe we always make and sing chorus aims concerning that every day. Set trade stop. Trust me, sometimes I'm even tired when I see somebody send me a screenshot. I'm already tired. I'm like, ah, sorry. That's the least I can say because I feel like I've said this. You guys, trade stop, trade stop, trade stop. And trade stop is very easy in such a way that when your market is already in blue or you're already in profit, if the market is retracing, anything can happen. I don't own the market. Nobody owns the market. Nobody is 100% sure of what's happening in the market. Oh, you understand? But setting trade stop helps you to close your trade in blue, which still stands on our goal, protecting your capital. And this moment now, you are not just protecting your capital, you are protecting the little profits you've made. Now, let me ask a question to the audience. Let me throw the question to the audience. Which will you prefer? You've made, you were entered a trade, you were seeing $50 profits. You set trade stop. When your trade stop got it closed the trade for you in, let's say, $12. Let me even go as low as $5. You didn't close when it was $50, but you put your trade stop at $5. Which will you prefer? Or you saw it at $50, you didn't put trade stop, you came back and you saw it as minus $15. Still reading. Which will you prefer, guys? I'm asking. Is a question to the audience. Which will you prefer? I'm still waiting. You're not talking is I can still sense the fear. But you know what fear stands for? Talk to me, guys. Which will you prefer? Will you rather like the $5 or you want to see your account reading at the minus $15? I need someone
Would
to echo.
prefer $5.
Exactly. I don't just use the chat box. You guys, it's going to be a conversational session. You guys should unmute and talk when I ask the question. You feel like you want to answer. In that way, we are all in spirit. You understand? We can hear each other. $5, of course. Because either way, the capital we are using is protected. And we have extra what? Extra $5. Though we will be pained that we didn't close the $50. Trust me, we'll be pained. But after the end of the day, you realize that okay, half bread is better. That's the only adage or proverb that will come to your head just to justify the way you are feeling. Half bread is what? Better than none. And you'll be okay. If you are holding that -15, no be surprise can get -20, -30, -40. You that you can't close at -15, will you be the one that will be able to close when it's at -40? No. You understand? That's why emotions really, really matters. Another thing, we give a signal. The entry is very important. The entry is not there for a play. For signals, entry is very important. Let your buy stop be buy stop. Let the sell stop be sell stop. Don't feel like you want to mod your own signals or something. It's buy limit for a reason, sorry. Sell limit for a reason. Instant buy or sell for a reason. Are you getting me, guys? So the entry is very important. The stop loss is very important. Everything we are saying now, we'll practicalize it so that you guys can actually know what I'm talking about. So on this particular area is calculating the loss you want to make even before you enter the trade. Very important. Because this will enable you to know the number of positions you have to open. Because imagine I gave you a signal on gold. You with $30 accounts, I can see you that you are opening like 0.0110 position. Like how? Why? Suicide mission now. You understand? But assuming you know the loss you're going to make, if it hits your stop loss, you will know that, okay, fine. You want to protect your capital, okay, this is the number of lot size you should open. Yes, you can stack positions. Don't get me wrong. You can open as many as mass position, but always make sure that you open it when the previous ones are already in profit. You understand? In that way, if the market is retracing, coming down, the fact that you have an open position before, you understand, the profit of the open position before will be covering up for the loss you are making for the new positions you opened.
Mm.
These are very powerful.
Oh,
Sorry, can
okay.
I ask a question?
Okay, please go ahead.
I'm sorry to take you back, but
Um,
can you please explain to me the difference between current market price and say buy limit? What's the difference?
all right. When I say current market price, it means that moment I gave that signal, the price was there. Don't forget, 1 second after I gave that signal, the price is no more there. It means jumping immediately. You understand? It's just me telling you that, okay, guys,
Okay,
toothbrush is at R5 now. You guys should buy it now at current market price. What will you guys do? You walk into the mall and buy the particular what toothpaste. You understand? But when I
I
say buy
understand.
limit, what I mean is that I'm giving you a duration of when it is going to be R5. It's like me telling you that by 5:30, it will be R5. So go and buy. What you're going to do is you wait till 5:30 before you go and buy. If you go around 3 o'clock, you're on your own. Because when you get to that store, they might not sell this for you for R5. Are you getting me?
I'm
So
getting you.
buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. All are pending execution. That is, they are not instant execution. Like you are not buying or selling at that moment. They are not current, you understand? You are
So you're
selling
saying,
on
as much as you've given out the that when it reaches this price, is that what the sell limit or buy limit is?
exactly. So all you
I
just have
hear
to do
you.
is I'm listening, sorry.
I hear you.
All right. You hear me or
And
you are
sorry, the other question that I have is how do you calculate your trial stop? Do you choose the amount that you're willing to lose? Is it an individual thing, or is there a calculation that you can make?
All right. How I do mine, I do my based on analysis. You understand? But trust me when I say that will go a long way. You understand? But there's easier way to do this thing because you'll be seeing the profit you'll be making. You'll be seeing that particular profit if you set that trade stop at a particular place. You'll be like, oh, if I set the trade stop here, I'll close with $2. I will close with $3. I'll close with $4. Then you might not decide based on the amount. And that's what we're going to practicalize now. I'm trying
Okay.
to get my demo accounts now on my Android. Okay. So that is just that about that. Now, okay.
So I need to ask something.
Okay, please go ahead.
I need to check something. If, for instance, that stop loss that you've given maybe a signal for, and then maybe maybe you give it around 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe I go there and I see it in around maybe 5 past 10 or 10 past 10. Is it wise for me to go in, maybe checking on my TP1 and that? Maybe I can, is it possible for me to minus the TP1 if maybe it's already been heated and then just go for TP2 or whatsoever? Is that possible?
My leader is not wise.
There's no way.
Because, because yeah, that moment I dropped that signal,
Hmm.
you understand? That moment I dropped it, the market has played what it wants to play.
Okay.
It's just like me saying, I said, when it is 5 o'clock, go and buy the toothpaste in
Mm-hmm.
the store for 5 rands. And you are
Yeah.
going around, let me say you are going the next morning to go. They will tell you, I'll say sorry, the promotion has ended. You
Okay.
understand?
So which means it's happening during that time, that particular time, everything has to be done by then.
Exactly. That's the best
Okay.
way I can explain. You understand?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but if you come and you see that probably you are like 1 hour or 30 minutes late, and you
Yeah.
check the markets, I repeat,
Mm.
you check the market, because you find out that there are some times that the market will take time to play out.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
And when you check the market, you can easily see that the price is still around that entry price I gave to you in the signal. Then you can
Yeah.
jump. If it has
Okay.
moved a bit,
It's
away from it,
impossible.
you can wait for it
Okay.
to retrace a bit before you jump in. But if
All
it
right.
has moved very well, that's why we are dropping more than one signals. One
All
signal
right.
is enough for someone like for you to be profitable in a whole day if you know how to play your game well. You understand? But for
Okay.
this level, you guys can still be taking those signals. You understand? So just
Okay.
calm down and wait for another signal.
Oh, okay.
Another question, please, before we go to the practical aspects. Another question. Okay, all right. Okay, what can I please say what again? Mr. Peter, said, can I say what again? I'm trying to log in my demo account. All right, so while waiting as I'm trying to log in on my demo account here, I would like to, I'll be throwing some questions. I'd like to be throwing some questions, you know,
Good.
into the room, and I want
Mm.
everyone to answer.
Hello, good evening. Can I ask something?
Please go ahead.
If, for example, I have $50 in my account, ne,
All right.
and you have given a signal, and then a lot size. Which a lot size should I use, and how many positions should how many trades should I place?
Good.
Like I normally see people, they use 0.10, and then the other one they use 0.001. So I want to know the difference.
Okay, God bless you for that question. Now, the thing is, you see people using different lot size, different position, because everybody has different what? Different balance. You can have $50. That person you are seeing, let me say, for example, me, because sometimes my lot size are scary and the positions, you understand, is because of the equity, the capital we are using to trade. Do you understand? If I have $1,000 capital, I can use the 0.1 lot size on gold, open 4 positions. You understand? At the end of the day, if the market is reading in loss, I might be in minus $60 loss. But I still have enough capital that is still holding that trade. You understand? But you have $50. If you open the same position as me, the same lot size as me, don't forget I'm having minus 60. That means you will be owing the broker minus $10. After your 50, after you've lost your $50, you still be owing the broker minus $10. Do you understand? So
Okay.
people place different positions, different lot size based on their capital. You know, the more,
Okay.
the more
Yeah,
you deposit,
understood.
the more risk you can take. It means the more lot size you can try to increase and the more positions you can open.
Okay.
There's somebody always making like 3,000, 3,000, 3,000 in the group. Our deposit is 500. I think our deposit is 500 USD. Do you understand? That's why it's kind of easier. You understand? If you deposit $500 under risk management, it's easier for you to make that $500. Are you getting me? Than if you have $50 and you want to make it's possible. Don't get me wrong. We have testimony around here. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying it's easier. You understand? When you have that $500, you want to make like 500, and if you have 50 and you want to make 500, there'll be pressure.
Mm.
There'll be pressure. So you want big profits, deposits big, make big money, copy,
Mm.
paste, profits, and repeat.
Mm.
Those 4 things: you copy the signal, you paste the signal, you make profits, and you repeat.
Okay, understood. And then what advice can you give for somebody who's new in Forex? Like, what advice can you give?
All right. I would just say I won't
Especially
say
when it comes to placing trades and then using a lot size. Like, what advice can you say to that person who's new to Forex?
the first thing I will say is no God. That's the first thing. No God. You understand?
Okay. Okay.
The second thing I will say is work on your emotions
Mm-hmm.
because it plays a vital role when you see signals. There's a moment you are 2 minutes late to see the signals,
Mm-hmm.
but because of your emotions already in the way, you're already anxious, like you are not stable. You might not know that you can still place that trade, or probably this trade has already gone, but the fear of missing out might catch you, and you want to
Mm.
just jump in, even though the market has gone. You want to jump in. That's we shooting ourselves in the leg. Do you understand?
Okay.
If you don't know your emotions, like I said, and you are shaking, you won't be calm. You can easily make a mistake when it comes to lot size. Where you're supposed to use 0.01, you can use 0.1 because you don't want to miss out. You are rushing. Are you getting me? When you see a
Yeah, I
signal,
do.
pro- not like when you see a signal, that's when you should know God. Though. Know God before you see the signal. When you wake up every morning, commit the day into the hands of the Lord. Take full delivery of every positive thing the Lord is actually having in store for you that day. When you see the signal, which we believe is one of the things the Lord have in store for you, calm down. The Lord already has it in store for you. You understand? Calm down. Take the signal. Don't rush. Be patient. Check the lot size. Check the loss you are making. You understand? There are some trades that you don't even need to enter. For instance, maybe I gave a signal of USD JPY and you have $5 in your account. You understand? My stop loss can be minus $4. I don't expect you to take that kind of signal.
Mm.
Instead, you wait for another one that your stop loss can be -1 or -2. Because if it hits your stop loss, if it hits your stop loss, you should still be left with $2 or $3 to be able to trade with. And the next trade might be profitable in such a way that you can take that one to $10. In that way, you are creating and leaving chances to trade another day.
Okay.
I want this thing to come to your head, everyone. Anytime you make little profit or you accepted your loss calmly, always say, we live to trade another day.
Mm.
No matter how small the profit is, no matter how small you accepted the loss or big you accepted the loss, we live to trade another day. And we shouldn't do revenge trading. Revenge trading is because you've made a loss. You want to make it back immediately. No, you are playing. That's what they want you to do. And we can't fall for such. Peculiar traders can't fall for such. Are you with me, guys? We can never fall for such. We are peculiar traders. Do they know what peculiar traders means? Are you getting me, guys?
Okay. So we shouldn't trade with emotions.
Very,
And
very, very, very
and
important.
when I am late in 5 minutes, I shouldn't take that trade, and then I should wait
Wait,
for another signal. Or even if I don't place it today, I can still take the signal the following day. Is it right?
you can't take it the following day. Oh.
No, what I'm saying is I can still wait for the signal. Like if you give out the signal like the following day, the new signal.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. If I give another signal of that pair
Ye-
the following day,
Yes.
yes, you can take it. In that five
Okay.
minutes, if you come back, open your chart, you see the price is still around my entry that I give,
Uh-huh.
you can still enter. You understand? But when you enter that market, if you want to check, and you see that the price of the market has gone far from the entry I gave, then you can continue what you are doing. You can eat bread. You can continue what you are doing and wait for another another signal.
Okay.
At least people in the signal room actually we share at least more than 5 signals for currency pairs. You
Okay.
understand? So if you lose the first time, you lose second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time you will. And I said minimum of 5, which means we share more than 5. You understand? We share more than 5.
Kamu
Okay.
kubulela papa le.
Okay, no, noted. Thank you so much.
Malano papa wa yang phone la ge. Mama,
Yeah, man, let's ka la bolelang papa man.
I'm sorry, guys. So now we have less than 10 minutes. So let me just log in and practicalize. I've not even created a demo account. So I believe, do you have any question else? Okay, so now,
I do have a question here.
all right,
Sorry.
please.
I just needed to ask something. With this stop loss. Let's
Yes.
say, for instance, I've got 2,000 on my current account. And besides the stop loss, in terms of trading, is there another way where you save? Maybe let's say on that 2,000, I want to use maybe 200 rands or that 500 rands. Is there a way of motivating that maybe into whatever that you want to do? Or is just the way of doing the stop loss thing? That's the only way of managing the stop loss.
Okay, if I might understand you to
Hmm.
confirm what you said, you are
Hmm.
asking if it's possible if you deposit like 2,000 rands, let's say $100 in your trading
Hmm.
account, and
Yeah.
out of that $100, you want to make sure that you are only trading with 20 or $30 in order to
Yes.
protect.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's possible. You understand?
Okay.
But it means I believe everybody of you going through the process of registering your accounts,
Hmm.
you understand, and transferring money from your accounts to MT5. So it means in that aspect, you won't be transferring the whole 2,000 rands to MT5.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
moment your money is in MT5, trust me, they are there for trading. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah.
But if you keep like $80 in XM,
Mm-hmm.
you keep $20 in MT5, you
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yeah.
You've linked your MT5 and XM together. Don't let me confuse you. But you are using MT5 to trade XM. Any money in
Yeah,
MT5,
that's what.
eh?
Yes, yes. So I'm
MT5,
confused with maybe taking it to MT5 again, and then while I'm busy with that XM, and then XM is linked with MT5, like I'm getting confused.
no. For you, XM and MT5 are together. You understand? It's
Yeah.
just like me
Yeah.
saying you have your house, you have your car.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
If I have 10 oranges,
Mm-hmm.
it's my choice. For instance, if I have 10 oranges, out of that 10 oranges, I can put the 10 inside the car and go
Yeah.
and see my friends. And my friends will eat all the 10 oranges alongside with me. Or I
Mm-hmm.
know my friends are people that they like eating, gluttons. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have a friend. Maybe my friends are glutton, you understand? I can decide that, okay,
Yeah.
fine. I'm not taking that 10 oranges with me. You
Yeah.
understand? I'm taking like 5. Glutonia
Yeah.
friends, you can eat the 5 all I care because I still have 5 in my
At
house.
home. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So house is like XM. The car is like
Okay.
MT5. The moment you put those oranges in your car, you know that moment that you are exposing them to your glutton friends and they will finish it. You might not even have the chance of having one.
Yeah, I understand.
So
So
that's it.
there is a way of doing that.
Yes, you just go to transfer on your account. You understand?
Yeah.
But I literally don't really see like if you want to do it, it's fine. But I don't see a need for that because what we're going to teach you here is going to be way more powerful. You understand?
Oh, okay. All right.
Way
Okay.
more powerful.
All right.
All right. So
No, I understand.
any other person with any question, please ask questions, please. Questions,
Thank
because
you.
after this class, I'm expecting you guys to put this thing to use. And if it doesn't work, you can try by yourself. You understand? Try this or yourself. Put this into plan. Deposits.
Hmm?
And when you want to deposit,
Yeah,
another thing is,
yeah, we
are
can.
you hearing me, guys? Sorry,
Brother,
Wendy. I will.
Eh,
I can feel it for.
Okay, sorry, guys. So another thing is, guys, when you want to deposit, don't deposit small money. I don't mean you should go and steal the bank or break into the bank. What I mean by that is, yes, you can start as low as $25. You understand? But I personally will advise you, if you can find 100, it's okay. But if you can't, I will actually like I will advise 100. But if, because everybody buckets is not the same thing, at least minimum 50. In that way, if you are using the brokers we are giving you, you are still going to have like 50% to 100% deposit bonus, which means if you deposit the 100, you'll be having like 150 or 200, 150 to 200 in total of your capital. And that way you can be able to place your positions and you can be able to increase your lot size. Because truth be told, the more the position, the more the lot size, the more the profit you are making. And trust me, we don't want to be making food money in trading. No. We want to make money that can make us to buy houses. Am I right? We want to make money that can buy us cars. And everyone has a dream car, yeah? You understand? Everyone has a dream car. So those are the kind of money we want to make from trading, not food money. Are you getting me, guys?
Yes.
We want to be financially free. We want to travel around the world and have that
Yeah.
occupation that we can take around with us, like our office in our pocket, which is our phone. You understand? So when you guys
Yeah,
come to
that's
Lagos
why
State,
we here.
try 100, but if you can't, please, minimum of 50. Try everything we're going to talk about today and come back and tell me if you are lying or not. So come, let me just try and deposit. I said deposit. Open this thing on my phone. But while I'm doing that, I said I would like to throw some question, and I would like anybody can chorus. You understand? So now the first question is, what's the biggest loss you've ever taken in one trade? Anybody? The biggest loss
$80.
for one signal
Yes.
from
Gold.
which pair? For you to lose $80, how many positions do you open?
2. But at the time, I was not very clear about the
Loss
zero
size.
point 0.0 thing. So I was just excited that it looked like I was making money. And then I blinked and the money was gone.
Wow. What was the lot size? Please scare me. I want to be scared. What was the lot size you use?
Are you asking about the lot size?
Yes. I want to run.
I think it was point. I'm not sure if it was 0.5, but I know that it was a lot.
I ran. Oh, 0.5. Well, how much was your this thing? Your capital?
I had started off with $100, I think, at the time, and then it looked like I was making profit. But honestly, I had no idea what I was doing.
All right, wait. If I may get you very well, you deposited $100, but you were making profits. You're making profits, so you felt like you can do more.
Yes. Then I got greedy. I suffer. Sometimes I have those emotions of greed.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. So guys, you can see another living testimony of what we are discussing about. Sorry, I'm not using it as an example, Mabo.
No, I understand. I understand totally.
Okay, so
And if it can help someone else, of course, why not?
yeah. Anybody else, please? I know it's a general thing. Would you like to share your experience, please? Loss is something you definitely you can't run away from. For instance, this morning we even made loss with our best pair ever that we used to make. You understand? But the game is having enough capital to come and trade later. Are you getting me? Okay, I'm in.
On my side, I didn't lose much because I'm kind of scared. Then most of the time when you guys give us signals, I just go to the demo. I'm not going to the real account. I only went to my real account once.
Why?
In the beginning, I made something like 400 and something to 500 rands. And then the second time, then I lost something like 250 or 3. So I'm still
Scared.
not 100% on a on the in the car, I need to drive it. So I'm still trying to
Okay.
see as to what's happening.
Guys, they say
Yes.
something, they say no risk, no Ferrari. You
Yeah,
understand?
it's true. It's true.
But at the same time, we living life is very risky itself.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know how
But
risky
I
it is?
but I think I'll gain more in terms of when that I'm joining that class of signals, because I think that's where things are happening actually. So I'm thinking when I'm getting to that now, currently I'll be joining, then maybe it will be better for me to see stuff, because in that way, like, you give us more of the signals and then I'll be going in and out, in and out. Then that way, maybe I'll be at least relaxed, or maybe feeling comfortable with doing it on my own and going through places with the trade that I wanna know. Yeah, I think that will teach me a lot.
Okay, somebody is asking about the. Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. That's actually a good idea as well. You
Yeah,
understand?
thank you.
Yeah. Somebody is asking a question. What time frame do you normally use when you're see when giving you signals? I used to come across of these questions with your fast spent. I used to come across these questions. You don't need the time frame when I'm giving you signals. When we give you signals, all those time frames, you understand, we've done everything for you. All you just have to do is copy and paste. That's how I call this, copy and paste. Put your entry, put the price. If you sell stop, buy stop. If current market execution, jump in, set your stop loss, set your TP. If you set the same parameters using 5 minutes time frame, you're still getting the same results. Do you understand? If you put $100 for I'll be sorry, if you put 1 hour time frame, you're still going to get the same results. If it's going to eat profit, to eat profit. If it's going to eat stop loss, to eat stop loss. You understand? So time frame does not really matter. What really matter is your entry. Focus on the entry given. Very extremely important. You can find out that the price is here, the buy stop or sell stop price given is very close to it, and you wonder, why can't we just jump in? Why do we have to wait? It's for a reason. All parameters are there for what? For a reason. It's not just by play. You understand? Now, for this person now, he said they lost 2,000 rand, lost by 0.01, 10 position. That's like 0.1 position.
Greetings from Mary.
Crash 300 to 0.5.
Greetings and welcome. Greetings, everyone. Greetings,
Yes, ma'am.
ministers.
So I believe you can all see my screen right now.
Madam, how are
Yeah.
you? How are you?
Good. Now, let's practicalize everything we'll be talking about, guys. Let's practicalize everything we've been talking about. So this pair, I don't really know is going to buy or is going to sell. Let's please mute.
Greetings, Tatemruti. How are you?
We are fine, ma. All right.
Greetings, Bakulu. Greetings and welcome to the first masterclass.
I'm sorry, please. Let's just be on mute. All right. Now I believe you can see my screen where I'm 2 minutes like. So now let's say, for instance, I want to buy this particular pair, or the signal says I'm coming. Is there a test here? Okay, there's no tests. I wanted to write the signal out. Okay, well, let's say the signal went like this. Buy V 150 1S. You guys should be very, for instance, derivative traders. We have V151S, we have V150. The 1S brackets in front makes a difference. Okay, let's say I now put CMP, which is current market price, that is price immediately, to be 61.83, 61.83, and stop loss was supposed to be around 61.13 or 14. Then TP1, let us use TP1, should be around 63.69, 63.69, 63.69. Let's say these are the parameters, guys. Are you listening? You saw it exactly like this in the room. Then the next thing you want to come, you want to come to this particular pair. You want to find for it 351X. What I will do is I'll come to this right top corner here where I can see plus. I click on the plus on the right top corner. Then I search for the name 150, 350, 150. It will bring the name of the market with similar alpha or numeric listing. Now, as you can see, 51, 51S there, and then I'll click on this positive sign just to add this to the code. Then after, I come back here and check for it. So 351S. Okay, can you see it here, guys? Can you see it here, guys? So now we open the chart, click on chart. Then we're going to what? Click on buy. Change the stop loss. Very important. You want to check your stop loss because when you see a signal, like I said, you don't want to allow your emotions to take over you in such a way that you forget that you're supposed to check what? The stop loss. So let's go with what we plan. The first thing is you commit everything, you know God. The second thing is you want to calm down because you don't want to do mistake when it comes to you placing the signal and using your lot size. So let's say we're using 0.5 for this. Now, the market says CMP, current market price, which means enter now. So let's enter now. Now, guys, now pay very much attention. First, let me enter one position. Let me enter one position and teach what I'm teaching. Now, I've entered one position. I want to know if I can still enter more position. The first thing I want to do is this. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. So I'll use another market I think I've analyzed after this one. V75 one V75 for a sale. So we are selling V75. But let's even use it now, safe. So if you have a derivative account, you can sell V75 right now. Okay, so for V75, the lowest is 0.01. You understand? Well, let me use 5. It's a demo account. Okay, now imagine with this signal like this, my stop loss should be around. The stop loss given was, let's say stop loss given was 88681, which is the line up here. Are you getting me? Now, this is how to know the number or the amount I'm going to lose before it hits the stop loss or before it hits the TP. And this will enable us to know if I can still open more position or I should just leave the market like that. Now, if my stop loss is 88681.89, and my take profit is 85893 0.94. You understand? For me to know the loss, I want to click on that. You see that red line where it says sell 0.005? That particular line of my entry. I will click on it. Then when I click on it, if you check down, you will see something like X close SLTP. Can we see it? Can we see it, guys?
Yes,
Sorry, I can't see what you are referring to.
at the
I'm coming.
bottom.
I'm coming. Now, I said I was saying, do you see that particular entry when we entered the sale? That line
Yes,
we have sell
Yes,
0.005. That was our entry. That was where we
yes.
entered the market. You
yes,
understand?
yes.
So now, I will click on it. I'm coming. So once I click on it, now, you guys be looking at that down, down, down part. You understand? Something will come up when I click on it. You will see where we have close, SL, and TP. Can you see
Yes.
it?
Okay.
Please, everyone echo it. Can you see it?
I
Can
see
you see it,
close, I
guys?
see SL, I see
Yes,
TP.
yes, I can see as
Yes, we
well.
can see.
So,
Yes.
Yes, yes.
so what you would do now, because I'm saving you us the stress of going to platforms to calculate. You understand? Everything now is still happening within your MT5 on your phone. Once you click on it and it brings those three things down, you click on SL. You understand? It will bring another line, a movable line. Can you see the way I'm moving this line? I'm just holding the line. I'm moving it up and down. But you can see the way it's moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can see the
Yes.
way you
Okay.
can see the way the fact that it's moving, but the prices are changing.
Yes.
Good. So it means if I take this line close to where my stop loss switch, which is the 8A681, it's, you know, it's telling me, are you getting me, guys?
Yes.
It's telling me that if this thing to hit my stop loss, I'm going to lose how much?
I understand.
Four
You can,
eight
4.80.
you can see, you can see on that stop loss line. I've
Yeah.
not placed it. I'm still moving. I'm still moving it. I'm still trying to modify it. You can see SL 4.80 USD. You can
Yes,
see
the
it.
orange line.
Yes, it means that yes. You see, the more I'm increasing it down, it is reducing. The more I'm increasing it up, it is increasing. So if I should place
Oh.
this stop loss to where I said the stop loss is going to be, it means we'll be making
Mm-hmm.
6.06, or let us say about 6.21 loss.
It tells you how many dollars you're gonna make.
You're gonna make, you're gonna lose.
Yes.
You understand? Now, putting it here, I already know that I'm making 6.25 loss. So me entering that trade, I already know that I'm coming with the mindset to lose how much? 6.25. So even though my mind's already at rest because I know how much I'm going to what? I'm going to lose. But fine, I feel like I have $10. If I have $10 at the back of my mind, I already know that I can open how many positions now? How many positions?
One.
Guys,
Only one.
because if I open
One.
two, because if I open two, the market will get burnt before it hits what? My stop loss. And don't forget, every parameters are there for a what? For a reason. You
You
understand?
have the
Now,
same options on the phone.
you said?
Do I have the same option on the phone? Can I find the same?
This is a phone. That's why I'm using a phone.
Okay.
The same thing is applicable to iPhone. But I'm using Android because I feel like everybody, majority are using Android. You understand? And it's even easier on iPhone. It's easier on both. It's the same thing, same method. You understand? So now,
Okay.
knowing that, the next thing I want to do is, I already know that if I have $10, I can open one position. So I've saved my strength. Like I've saved myself from two things. I'll be rest assured because I know I'm coming back to either make a loss of 6.25 or let's check the profit. So to know the number of profit you'll be making, you click on the TP on down too. It will bring another green line. just the way it brought that red line. You can see the green line, guys.
Yes.
So it's telling me that if I'm going to use the first, let's say the first TP is 85893, the first line. It means if I'm going to use the first TP, I'll be making how much profits?
7.86.
Exactly. Are you getting me, guys? I'll be making
Yes.
7.86. So with this one, I can feel like, no, I won't advise, but you can feel like, no, the amount of money I need to buy fuel today is $30. If this trade can just provide me $30, okay, that means I have to open how many position more? How many position more to get $30, guys? It means with the same lot size, I can still open like 4 position more, making it 5. Because that will be 7 times 5, which is how much? But are you guys getting me? Like 7 positions in 5 places will be, I'm coming. 7 position in 5 places. It's even 35, it's $35. You understand? Which means if I have 5 positions, are you getting me, guys? And I'm aiming for
Yes.
that take profit, 7.92. But let's say approximately $1. It means I will need like 5 positions. So I have like $35. Are you getting me? But the fact that it's easier for me to calculate the profits too, I'll be calculating the loss. It means I'll be making how many loss if it goes sideways? 6.25 times 5. So it's like I want to risk $31.25 to win $35. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So these ways you can easily decide, do I really want to do this? Are you feeling me?
Yes.
This thing can take time. Trust me, it's because I'm explaining. Before you enter the trade, bam, bam, bam. It's just like before you are modifying and putting your stop loss. You understand? So now in this case now, let's say the TP1 is 7.92, and the TP2 is around here, 84937.20. Which means if I'm aiming for TP2, I'll be making a profit of how much? 12.47. Are you getting me, guys? So now this
Yes.
is how TP1 and TP2 work. Let me use my note for that. Coming. So I was saying this is how TP1 and TP2 work. Now, when you are entering a trade, I would say first go for TP1. Let us say, for instance, this TP1 now, yeah. The market, let's assume the market is not where it is now. It has already started selling. Now got here. The market is here. 86436. Let me paint it another color. How do they change this thing? Let's just say the market is here. 86. I'm coming. I'm just change this. Okay, let's say the market is now here. The green line is where the market is currently. The red line is take profits. Now let's imagine that the green line, the market is here at 86483. Please, I want you guys to pay attention here. It's very important. This is trade stop and how important trade stop is. At the same time, how to work alongside your TP1, TP2, TP3. I only have like 3 minutes to explain this now. Now, assuming the green line here we are seeing here, which I'm moving now on my screen, is where the price of the market is currently, not here. That is, which means the market has already started selling. You understand? Now, the red line is what? My TP1. Are you getting me? So it means in this case, I'll be in profit, right?
Yes.
The last thing I want to see is I want to see my $12 profit hit stop loss. Because I've already seen profits. It's very painful when you've seen profits that you feel like you should have closed and you came back and you saw is in loss already because you didn't close. That's the work of trade stop. Now, what I just have to do is if my stop loss is here, Just the same way I executed my stop loss, I click on that entry line. Instead of modifying, coming here to modify that, okay, if I want to modify my stop loss, I want to put my TP, you understand? All these things. No. I click on that same line again. It brings those three icons down below. The stop loss was where we set the stop loss here, 7.9 or 7 point something. I will drag the stop loss. Don't forget the price of the market is already at 8651031. I will drag the stop loss from where it was below my entry. Can you see that line of stop loss is already below my entry? Are you getting me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
The green line
Now
is
you're trade stopping.
yes, the green line is the market price.
Mhm.
This purple line, let me first take it away. The green line is the market price. This dash red line cell is my entry. Now, this line I'm moving out is the stop loss. I'm moving from here because the market is already in profit. So I'm moving it below my entry, which means this green line, if it should get to 86793 or where I set the stop loss, it will close it for me in 3.9 profits. It will be in loss again. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So that's trade stop. Even though it's going to now touch it and continue selling, but at least it has closed it for me in 3.89. I didn't know that it was going to just touch it and continue selling. You understand? If the things go sideways, we just touch it and we still go up and I'll be in loss. But a win is a win. The capital is still what? Is still safe. And we live to trade another day.
Sure.
Are you getting me, guys?
So the stop loss, when you modifying it, is it reducing your losses, like it goes further down as you have modified it? Then instead of us losing maybe that 7 point something, it's gonna drag it up until maybe where you've put it currently, where it says 2 point something or 3 point something, then which means now I'm losing the 3 point something, not the 7.
No, 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 no. Let me show you how it's going to show on your own. Maybe because it's a demo.
Okay, please repeat it for me.
Okay. When I click on this here, and the stop loss is here, it should be showing minus 5.11. I don't know why it's not showing the
Yeah.
minus. Minus should be in front of it.
Okay.
This is not 511. This is minus 511.
Okay.
You understand? On your phone, it can show the minus. You understand?
All
But it's
right.
SL 511.
Yeah.
It means I'll
Mm-hmm.
make a loss of 511.
Yeah.
If the price of the market is on this green line presently,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to modify the stop loss, and I'm bringing it down, it will not show
Mm.
minus 511. What will be in the front will be plus 1.78 or plus any amount, you understand? But it will be plus.
Yeah. So which means you're making profit.
Yes, it's no more stop loss.
Okay. All right.
It's called break even
Okay.
or locking in profits. When I say lock your trade in profits, it means that no
That's
matter
that's
if the
what that's
market
what
wants
you've
to,
done.
is that?
I'm saying that when you're looking according to what you've shown us now.
Yes, when we say lock in profit, it means you are locking in profit in such a way that even though the market wants to retrace, want to change direction, it will close what all your trade for you in what? In profits.
Okay. All right. I get it. Thank you.
Very powerful. Trust
Yeah.
me, very, very powerful. This way
Mm.
you stay
Hello, sir.
profitable. Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. This particular aspect you are teaching us now is very, very important, and I appreciate that. Thank you. God
All right,
bless
sir.
you. But my network kicked me out when you started this because I'm very, very interested in this particular aspect. Like sometimes when I want to set my stop loss, I will not see the value of the amount I will lose in case the market goes against us. But here I'm
Yes,
seeing the value as you are dragging the stop loss. And I'm seeing the value. So please, how
yes.
can I do mine so that I'll be able to see the values for me to know the amount I may lose if the market eventually goes against us?
It's very easy. It's just me coming to, like, let's open another chat. This is another chat. Now let me just click on buy. Now I've clicked on buy. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Now I've clicked on buy. To get the stop loss or to take profits, all you just have to do is you click on that buy line. Boom. After clicking on it, you see these three icons showing below: the close, the SL, the TP. Let's do it again, guys.
Okay.
I click on that blue line, which says buy 0.2. Boom. Now, if I open another position, which I just did now, you can see another buy position, right? If I want to modify that one too, I click on that one.
On
Sorry.
the blue line, right?
On the blue line, second blue line too. If I want to
Okay.
deal with the first entry, I click on the first blue line. No matter the line I put, actually, it's actually just going to bring those three lines, those three icons, the close, SL, and TP. And each one I set will be for that line I did, which means like if I click on the second line, put the SL and TP, I have to still click the first line, put the same SL and TP. Are you getting me?
Okay.
All right. So for instance, now I pray this thing goes in profit very soon, so I'll be able to demonstrate this very well. So now in this case, now guys, now let me click here, and the moment I want to put the stop loss, let's say the stop loss is I gave the stop loss to be around here. Yeah, at 14031.203. That's where the stop loss is. And I was like, the profit should be around here. 14089.82. But immediately I click on it, I'll put set. Let me just say the first thing I want to do is set my TP to know the amount of profit I want to get. I click on TP. TP will bring that green line. Can you see it here? That I'm moving.
Okay.
And I'll just move it to around that price, 14.4089. It means, if you can see, it means I'll be making $7.69 profit per one position. You understand? If it gets here.
Mhm.
So because there are two positions now, it's be giving like maybe $14, 14 plus dollar. You understand? And let me set it like this. Set. You can see. So even though can you see now, I've set this TP now. So for the stop loss, you do the same thing. You click the SL. Stop loss means SL. You click the SL. I'll click the SL and put it to here. It means we'll be making a loss of how much? We're making loss of
Great point.
$4. Can you see, guys? We're making loss of $4. So with that already, I know I'm making loss of $4. So if I have $20 accounts, it means I can open how many positions? More than one, right?
Yeah.
It means I can open like two, I can open three. If I open three, it means I'll be losing like 4 times 3, like
$12.
$12. Are you getting me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that way I know that the remaining $6, hey, if things goes bad, I will want to trade it carefully. Now, so that's just the essence of, so let me explain the trade stop now. Now, if you see the second signal, the second entry we gave for this buy, the second entry is already in profits, in 90 cents profits. So now let me show you how the trade stop work. Let me switch to lower time frame to show you. Now, remember this was where the stop, see, where's the stop loss safe? I'm coming. Okay, we didn't set the stop loss. Let's set the stop loss. We said, assuming the stop loss was here. Now, this was the signal, guys. Look very well. This was the signal. This was the stop loss. This green line is the TP. This red line is the stop loss. But the trade was already in profit. Let me say this is my TP1. My TP1 is here. Let me change the color of my TP1 to red. The color of my TP1 is red, guys. But you can see that these trades are already in profit, especially the second one we entered. Down, down, down. So if I want to set trade stop now, what I want to do is I want to click on that stop loss from where it is now. I want to secure that second trade in profit because you're already in profit. But always make sure that the trade has already gone a bit up very well before you do that trade stop and before you set your trade stop. But in the same way, what I mean is like what I'll be doing is I'm moving this stop loss here from where it is now, and I'll be taking it above. You understand? Above the buy. In that way, I can't. The fact that it's too close, safe, the market won't allow you to set it. You understand? But assuming the price of the market is already like around maybe TP1 or halfway to TP1, are you getting me? It will be easier. All you just have to do is you take your stop loss from here, you take it above your entry. You understand? Which means it's no more stop loss. You are locking your trading words in profit. Are you feeling me, guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
So I think I've been able to answer those two questions: how to know the loss and how to set trade stop. So do you have any
very
question,
well,
guys?
very well. Thank you so much.
Do you have any question, guys? Any question?
Can I check something?
Please
If,
go
for
ahead.
instance, if maybe I've opened maybe TP1, TP2, and TP3, all of them they've got their stop loss. And when
No, no, no,
I'm
no.
dragging,
No.
when I'm taking, yes,
Okay, I'm listening.
all of them have got their own stop loss. And then those entries that I've got, will when I'm modifying my stop loss, must I do it like when I'm doing it once? Will it occur to other?
No, you do it
Will
one
it?
by one.
Oh, you have to do it one by one. Okay, all right.
Yes. Yes, one
Okay,
by
all
one.
right. Okay, thanks.
All right, any other question, please?
Hello. The follow up on the same question, ne? She
All right.
says she's talking about modifying the 3 positions. What about
Right.
trail stop? Are you gonna do for each position trail stop as well?
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh, okay, thank you.
yes, yes. Any other question, please? Another question, guys. Please feel free to answer.
Wait an additional 30 seconds. See something. Can you explain again the trailing stop?
The trade stop.
Yes.
All right, okay. Let me be fast about it this time. Now, trade stop helps to close order in profits.
Please don't get things tested.
As you can see now, this market is moving. Let me first get the signals. The people in the group, I'm coming, guys.
Sometimes he calls
1404.
Let's see how we get
If you're in the VIP group, guys, take this signal. So,
see
21,
both at the same
66, so
at the same time.
18,
But still wait. Break up.
so,
Okay.
8,
Told us to buy Nasdaq. See how Nasdaq can follow the same principles, but don't do the same thing.
all right. Okay, so now in this scenario now, you can see this trade is already going in blue. Are you getting me? And for instance, your stop loss was at
It only starts
140.45.273. So if you want to set trade stop, all you just have to do is you click and you modify it and put your stop loss. You see now? I don't still know why we can't. Okay, now guys, now can you see now? The fact that the market has moved a bit, now they are giving us the opportunity to set our trade stop. Now, I've set the trade stop here. Now, even though because I'm buying, guys, see where my stop loss is. Can you see it? So if this market should retrace down now, it means it will close it for me in profits. Now, it means that if the market should hit that line now, it will close it for me in plus 1.57 profits. Because this way, I believe that the market can retrace, and I don't want the market to retrace back. You see, it has closed it for me in profits. There was two positions before, but can you see that because the market is tracing, it's closed for me in profits. This way, I'm saving myself from, you see the way it's dropping down. From seeing profits before and later discovering loss or even losing the whole account. Now, let's see. Can you see the history now? $1.49. It will close for you profit automatically. Instead of it going, because it's tracing now, instead of it eating your stop loss, you've already seen profit before. You understand? So it's just like you are just taking partial of your profit instead of closing in loss. If that is if the market is going to retrace. And the thing is, we won't know if the market is going to retrace. So it's safe to always what? Set, trade, stop. At the end of the day, if the market is still going to buy, if it gets back to your entry by that time, you cannot buy again at that moment. But that moment, if you believe it or not, you already have like extra 1.49 because the first position you closed at 1.49. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So if you open another position when it gets to your entry, it's not bad. Even though it still goes in loss, it might be that 1.49 and the loss that will just cancel each other, which means you didn't make money, you didn't lose money. I get me. So trade stop is very, 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 very important. Are you getting me?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
All right. So for everybody that don't understand this, I've spent more than my time. The video is being recorded and you have access to it from this night to tomorrow morning. So you guys can watch it and practice. But very important, you guys should deposit tonight or very early tomorrow morning. Try this thing. This is half of the year already. We can still fulfill those dreams together, you know. So that's it. I see you guys way up. And that will be all for tonight in the absence of no more questions. Thank you very much.
Hi, can
I
I ask a
remain.
question?
Thank you. Thank you very much. This
Thank
was
you.
much more helpful. Thank you.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, we're with you.
Yes, before you leave, I wanted to ask. I see there's M1 at the top of the screen. I know it's like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and 15. I want to ask if when I trade, and let's say I'm trading around 15 minutes, will I know when to go out or close my trade? Or should I take the 15 minutes, or can I go above 15 minutes?
It depends. Let me ask you a question. Are you taking the signals or you are analyzing yourself?
I can say I'm taking the signals.
If you're taking the signals, you don't need the time frame. You
Okay.
understand? Because even though I have someone that has already asked the question, started, you know,
Oh, okay. So
if you
I
take it
entered late.
and use 1 minute, it's the same thing. If you
Okay.
take it and use 5 minutes, it's the same thing. If it's going to eat TP, it will eat TP. If it's going otherwise to eat SL, it will eat SL. You understand? But if you are trying to analyze yourself, you understand? That's when time
Mm-hmm.
frame can be kind of important. You understand? On picking
Okay.
entries. All the picking
Oh.
of entries, time frame, we are doing everything for you. All you just have to do is you
Ah,
copy and paste. You
copy and
profit
paste.
and repeat. So those are things you are just needed from you. You understand?
Oh, okay. No, got it.
All right.
No,
Thank you very
thank you
much.
so much.
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful night rest. We'll make sure the copy of this video is available for you guys to watch again. Thank you. God bless you. I remain your honorable, humble boy, Max Trader. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.